Celebrity Every Day 26.
Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 includes a lot of content when it comes to lore. While it raises new questions, it finally reveals some answers, even if those answers also lead to additional questions. Playtime Company has a twisted history, and it's tough to piece events together when it feels like no character can be completely trusted to tell the truth. Now, Chapter 4 reinforces that the player can't trust anybody in the factory to tell them the truth without omissions or twists. With the Doctor as the main villain and a safe haven filled with non-hostile toys, the player manages to pick up more information about what went down at Playtime Company than in previous chapters. Additionally, new information changes what was previously revealed or implied. Going into Chapter 5, it's difficult to tell who will be able to survive to the end of the game, and whose ideals are right, if any are. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 ends with the player and Poppy on an elevator going down to the prison, but they hear Kissy Missy crying out in the background. She was left behind to close the elevator door behind them to block what was likely the prototype from following them, sacrificing herself to save her friend, Poppy. At the beginning of Chapter 4, Poppy tells the player to continue going forward while she goes back for Kissy. Once the player is close to the safe haven, Poppy and Kissy reappear, saving the player during a chase sequence. They go into the safe haven together to get Kissy as much treatment for her injuries as they can, but the most they can do is wrap up her injuries and let her rest. Even with these injuries, Kissy's heroism doesn't end when she enters safe haven, and she continues to prove that she's a true friend. Riley has likely been dead for years by the time this chapter takes place, but the player is able to find several pages from her journal around the guards' bodies and the station for the train that leads into the prison. These pages are meant to guide the player to the key they need to start the train and travel into the prison properly. However, they also tell the story of a girl who did what she could to try to save others from sharing her fate as a toy. After the hour of joy, Riley decided she wouldn't eat the bodies left behind even though she was hungry. She also knew that the conductor had the train key, and he was dead, so she took it and hid it to prevent anybody else from using the train to take others to the prison. In her journal, she says that she wanted her life to matter to someone, and she just wanted to know she made life a little better for somebody before she joined her parents in death. This piece of information is revealed by the Doctor, which makes it difficult to take at face value. However, he would know if this was the case, since he's allied with the prototype and is connected to the technology of the factory. The Doctor says that Poppy knew that the hour of joy would happen ahead of time, but that she didn't tell the player because it would go against her interest in using their trust in her to keep going through the factory. If this is true, then it adds an interesting layer to Poppy's behavior when she showed the player the tape about the hour of joy and talked about that day. She seemed genuinely upset about the event, but if she knew about it and wanted to stop it, she could have told the employees or tried to do something to at least mitigate the damage. However, it's also possible that she was placed in the glass case before the event, preventing her from participating or hindering it. This isn't the most surprising lore reveal, but it's one of the most important. Sawyer played a key role in the Bigger Bodies initiative and in conducting experiments at Playtime Company, but he also could be messy, and his experiments caused multiple incidents that had to be covered up. As a result, Leith was left in a difficult position where letting Sawyer continue was detrimental to the company, but they needed his intelligence and couldn't fire him either, since he knew too much. Betraying Sawyer, and using the same process that the Bigger Bodies initiative used to connect him to the lab's technology, was the best solution that Leith had as an option. This let him keep Sawyer on hand to help other researchers continue his work, and it put checks on him so that he couldn't keep causing incidents. In the end, this event shows that Playtime Company would go to any lengths to keep their projects going and eliminate threats to their reputation. The prototype raises more questions about Poppy's real identity during this conversation by saying that it was time for her to return home. In the meantime, Kissy Missy is visibly distressed at this revelation. Kissy Missy has been an obstacle to the prototype before, so it doesn't seem like he has a personal vendetta against her. However, he clearly wants Poppy in his grasp for reasons that remain unknown at this point. The latest chapter was a goldmine for information about Poppy Playtime, but the cliffhanger and reveal at the end create a new set of questions. Now, it's clear that Poppy thought she was doing the right thing and wanted to help everybody left behind. However, like many others, Poppy was betrayed, which seems to be a main theme for Poppy Playtime Chapter 4.
Celebrity Every Day 26.